For daily Ask Reddit, Redditors who have been in coma and came back, what is the experience like? I was in a coma for 2 days. I remember nothing. It took about 2 weeks for me to recognize my surroundings and start talking again. Months and months for my memory and communication to come back to a level inferior to before. I lost huge amounts of memory from the years before the coma. The older my memories, the less affected they were. My memory is still kinda shot 5 years later. Really shitty experience, especially for my family. It was weird, I guess, is the best way to describe it. I woke up with retrograde amnesia, so I didn't remember anything from before. I remember waking up quite clearly though, especially when my family came in to see me. They all rushed in, tears streaming down their faces, hugging me. All I could think was, who the duck are these people? I had a massive panic moment when I realized I didn't know who I was. 0/10 would not do again. Kinda weird. My coma was a few days, but I woke up with memories of the past week really jumbled, and to this day I can't tell what was real and what I imagined from people telling me. Plus I woke up on a breathing tube, and that was the day I learnt what it felt like to deep throat someone. Edit. I woke up from the coma, but was still on anesthesia for a while, so the moment I woke up I saw my entire family around me in tears, and me being unaware I was in a hospital assumed I was still watching TV with my mom, and, trying to be funny, my first words to her were, "Who died?" I was in a coma about 8 years ago. It lasted 5 weeks. All I remember was having really crazy, but very real dreams. One I remember was having a bee's nest in my chest and doctors trying to coax them out with honey. As I said, it was crazy, but it was so real. Also, I had dreams that mixed with things what were going on in real life. For example, my dad would come in every day and read his newspaper to me. I must have been taking it in as I would dream about some of the events as I was there. My mom was in a coma for 6 months due to an awful car crash that happened because she was cracked out in drugs going 100 on a very sharp turn. She crashed in a ditch and was seconds away from drowning whenever someone pulled her out. Lost her ability to do everything. She only has long-term memories and had to learn to do everything again. Read, write, walk, etc. Unfortunately, it's one of those cases that it only gets worse as she ages. She's in a rehab home right now, but I wish the crash wouldn't have happened. She would be a lot happier. But if it didn't, I wouldn't be alive, lol. When I was 9, I fell headfirst from about 4 meters. Had head trauma, went into a coma for 3 days while the blood reabsorbed. Had post-traumatic amnesia. It was just a long blink to wake up in severe pain in a hospital bed. Nothing in between. 3 days completely gone. You good now though? Yeah, perfectly fine. The accident was about 16 years ago. Finished school. I'm finishing engineering right now. It's just weird to know I lost 3 days of my life due to my own stupid choices when I was little, but no aftermaths or complications due to it. Truly a miraculous recovery. Slash. Not a question for you guys. Do you have a dreams when you're in a coma? I was in a coma for 2.5 weeks. My dreams were actually my brain listening to my loved ones around me talk. People in comas can really hear you. I'll never forget this, but my uncle apparently visited me and told me when I'd make it out of the hospital, I should ask my parents for a cat or a dog, or both. I would have no way of knowing what was actually said, since I was unconscious, but I told my parents about it later, only to find it was true as my uncle left me books about different breeds on both cats and dogs. I had a bunch of other dreams too, based on what was happening around my body. Edit. What was actually said. Was in a coma for a little over a day. Don't remember 10 days in all. It was like a blink. 30 seconds before the wreck, then this guy was in a wheelchair talking to me about something. The only things I knew for sure was that I was married, I was in the Air Force, and I hurt all over. I guess I looked confused because the guy stopped and changed his tone. He suddenly sounded like he was bored answering questions he had already been over a dozen times. Then news was bad. You're in Elmendorf AFB hospital. Your wife is downstairs. You were in a wreck and your daughter was killed. I don't speak much of our daughter. It hurts too much. It is a wound I cannot seem to heal. My recovery has taken years. I lost a portion of my left frontal and temporal lobes. I had mood control and anger issues. I also have a speech problem remembering nouns. I switch names of things being discussed without realizing it, or I forget the name of something entirely. I don't introduce my wife to people because it is very embarrassing to forget the name of the woman you love, heart and soul. I have a form of epilepsy that manifests as pain, along with some very strange sensations. But I have a loving wife, have raised 2 children, and had a satisfying career. But I still deal with the disability every day.